buses. Let's say hi to everybody on YouTube. Hello everybody, welcome to Terrifically Thrifted. I am not in my house because I actually have a big announcement for you. And we're going to my biggest thrift I've ever done. So I'll show you when we get there. Bye! Welcome to my YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. So as you can see by the title of this video, it's a little bit different. Life for me and for my husband has been a little bit crazy lately. And you might be wondering why there's all these boxes and clutter behind me. It's because we bought a house. So this video is a little bit different than any other videos I've made so far. This one's gonna be a little bit more personable. And it's because I wanted to just talk about and share kind of my experience buying our first home in Ottawa during the COVID pandemic. But if you're not interested in that and you just want to see the house, I'll put a timestamp below for you to just skip ahead. So my story is kind of broken down into 3 phases. Phase 1, I'm gonna call like the fun, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed phase. Phase 2 is the disappointment and frustration phase, and then phase 3, I'm gonna call it the God phase. And I'll explain each phase shortly. Just to give some background information, my husband and I are both Christians, and we both believe that the world that we live in is not just what we physically see, but also there's a spiritual realm that the God of the universe is present and speaks to us in still small voices and speaks to us in loud voices. This all house buying situation began in November 2019. No, sorry, in November 2020. My husband was praying and he felt like God was telling him to start looking for a house to buy. We've talked about it before, but we weren't really thinking that was like a good time yet, especially because if you follow real estate or have heard, Ottawa right now is a seller's market, and it's really hard for first-time home buyers like us to get into the market because the prices are so high. There is not enough supply for the amount of demand, and so people are paying ridiculous prices because, you know, everyone's desperate for space these days. So it just didn't make sense for us to like put ourselves into the market at this stage. We have learned in our lives when God says to do something, to do it, even if it makes no sense, because God just works in mysterious and wonderful ways. So phase 1, you know, we were excited. We had our broker, we had our realtor, and we were looking on online to see like houses and their pictures and read the profiles. There are houses within our price range which aren't super small, and we just had high hopes. But little did we know the struggle it is going to be in Ottawa's housing market. So then phase 2 happened, and this was the disappointing, frustrating / house Tinder stage is what I'll call it. So it's when we started going to see houses. From about end of December to mid-February, we probably saw 15 to 20 houses. We ended up putting like offers, like 5 different offers in over the course of 2 months or so. And it was really exhausting. So in Ottawa, it is so competitive to buy a house right now because people are really desperate and they'll put crazy offers in. And we put an offer in which we thought was reasonable and competitive, but still within our price range because, you know, we didn't want to go house broke. We thought every time we put an offer in, we were like, wow, we're gonna get it. Like, this is such a good offer. Nope. We kept losing the bids and the offers, and it got really discouraging for me. It got really freaking discouraging. And it's because like I am such an emotional person and I get really emotionally invested like very quickly, and this is where I'll explain like the whole house Tinder thing. So every time we'd go to see a house, what would end up happening for me, I would look at the pictures and read the profiles, and then like I'd find 1 or 2 houses of the many that he would send us, and I would fall in love just from the pictures on their profile, like Tinder. So then I would fall in love with the house, and then we would book a first date, aka we would go and book our viewing. So we would go on the first date, we'd go check out the house, and then I would be able to go in, and then I'm just like, oh my goodness, wow, this is such a great house, this is perfect. I can see this being, you know, a house that we live in for a long time, and God, this must be it. And I would get like super excited about like all the little DIY projects and making the house look pretty, and I would just like daydream, night dream. I would just be dreaming about this house nonstop, even after the first date. And so then we would put an offer in, and leading up to like the day where they consider your offer, I would lose so much sleep. And it's super silly because it's a house and I shouldn't be so attached to it, and I would get so stressed at night. God, like, is this the house? Just like constantly praying and super stressed and have like lots of anxiety. And then the day where they would consider the offers would come, and our realtor would send us a message and say, sorry guys, it wasn't for us, like we lost it on the bid. And we'd find out like by how much more over it was sold, and we were just like really discouraged. We can't afford that much money to put down on a house, and if that's what like these houses are being sold at, it's like, well, we can't afford it, so why are we even looking? Like, God, why are we even looking right now? Hello, it's me, future Terry, editing Terry, I guess. I just wanted to put a little note here that, like, disclaimer, I'm not at all saying that my life is hard. I know that this very much is a first world problem, and I'm not saying that our life is hard. The main reason why I just wanted to include this story into this video is just because, like, we were listening and following God's will, and it didn't make sense to us, and I just want to show, like, the ups and downs of what it's like to follow God in our daily life, and trying to live our life, you know, according to God's purpose and not necessarily our own purpose. So yeah, I don't know, like, just wanted to put that out there because I know that this story video can sound kind of pretentious, and if I come across that way, like, I don't mean to. It's all that love over here. So yeah, anyways, bye! Now is phase 3 of the story, the God stage is what I've been calling it. So what ended up happening was, like, mid-February, I was pretty, like, I was just kind of over it. I was kind of just over being like falling in love with a house and then just being disappointed. And so, but our realtor kept sending us houses. Then he sent one to us, so I didn't want to go check it out, but my husband convinced me to. Leading up to the house viewing, I was really nervous. I just didn't want to, I don't know, I just didn't want to fall in love with it and like get disappointed again. I just also felt like, God, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Am I not having enough faith in you to trust that you can provide for us? I don't know, am I doing something wrong, God? Like, I just had so much self-doubt. And that whole week, I was praying a lot, I was reading my Bible, and I was doing a lot of reflection. And that week, God spoke to my heart. God spoke to me and reminded me that He will provide, that actually it's not our house, that He's buying a house, and that it is God's house, and that He's blessing us with it so that we can bless others through the house. And that was a really great reminder, because I think I was just thinking like about how much money we were making and like, oh, if we had a little bit more money, we could afford this or that. And I think I was just putting my trust in my salary and in my husband's salary. And it was just like disappointing, like, and really, it just felt like nothing was ever enough when I was like trusting in my own money. But it was really encouraging for God to just speak to me and say like, don't worry about the money. Like, whatever I give you, like, it will be my house, it will be God's house, and people will come to know me more through your house. God reminded me in Matthew 18:20, For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am among them. I think I was also focusing so much on like how it looks and how much like it'll be fun to make it pretty and all the DIY projects I want to do in it. And all that is fun and good, but like that's not the most important part. Actually, what's the most important part is to bless others with their house, and for it to be a place of gathering for people who know God and people who don't know God, and it will be a place where God can just bless others. I needed these reminders because I was focusing on the wrong things. And this was all like the week leading up to the viewing. So then we go to the viewing. All the other houses, I felt like a sense of an excitement. When we walked through this house, I didn't feel an excitement. I felt like a calmness and a peace, and we decided to put an offer in. When we were trying to decide like how much to offer, we were praying about it, and God spoke to me and said, you know, put more than what you're comfortable with. And for me, that's really hard. Like, I love a good deal. Like, I love saving money. So, you know, I told my husband this, and we both kind of wrestled with how much to offer. It was scary for me and really uncomfortable because to me, it was a lot of money. But, you know, I was holding on to the fact that God said, like, have faith that I will provide for you. So we did. We put the offer in, and then it was a few days until like the offers were considered. Those few days, I again lost a ton of sleep. I was just anxious to know what God's plan was. Anyways, the day came when they considered the offers. A realtor texted me saying, "You guys got it. You guys won the bid. Congratulations." We gotta sign some papers, and me and my husband were just like, "Oh my gosh." Like, we felt like we won the lottery. We got the offer, and later we found out from our realtor that our offer wasn't even the highest offer. And this is the God thing. Our offer wasn't the highest, but they still chose ours. When we found out about the offer being accepted, I was so overwhelmed with gratitude, and my husband and I just prayed, and we just said, thank you, God. Thank you so much. We uplift this house into your hands, Lord, and you are crazy, God. If you've made it through my whole jumbly story, I really thank you for sticking with this video. I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I'm just a girl who wants to share about my life. I don't know if there's really a moral to the story. If there was any, I would just summarize it as God asks you to do crazy stuff, and you just gotta do it, and you just gotta trust that God will surprise you. And so God surprised us. Thank you for listening to my story about being on house Tinder. I hope it was entertaining. Let me know down below if you can relate to this experience at all. Without further ado, would you like to see the house? you.